Well, you probably clicked on this video because of the thumbnail and you want to know how you can release your own Roblox game. There's a lot of stuff that goes into making a Roblox game and you can make a lot of mistakes while doing it. So to not make any mistakes that I made, watch this video to the end to find out how to exactly do it. And if you're actually wondering why you should trust me, well, I've been on this platform for more than 7 years and I have made a ton of different games and contributed to a lot of different creations. And I can tell you, there's a lot of stuff that you need to know first before you can have your own game. And in this video, we're going to be going step by step on how to do everything from making your own game to getting the funding to make your own game to actually releasing it and marketing it. So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn and get ready for this amazing video. First up, you need to know that making your own game is not just scripting or whatever, like you just go into studio and try and make your stuff on your own. You do need a team, of course. There's instances where you can make a game by yourself, but I recommend hiring off a team, or if you're skilled enough to know all the areas and you have a lot of free time, then you can potentially make a game by yourself. But first, we need to acquire funding for the game and figure out how we're going to actually pay all of the developers without actually damaging our own pockets. Well, here's the plan that we're going to be reviewing in this video. So first of all, what we're going to be doing is acquiring the funds for our game, and we do need to plan this tactically so we don't waste our own pockets on this game and we have minimal risk while trying to release a game. So the first thing they're going to be doing is starting by doing commissions. Now, most of you guys know what commissions are, but for those of you who do not know, commissions are basically you doing work for other people's games or just doing systems that they might need, just basically doing everything they need for their game. In return, they're going to pay you an amount. It could be Robux, it could be, I don't even know, it could literally be anything. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to be picking a service that you want to do. And now I know a lot of you guys maybe do not know how to script, do not know how to model, do not know how to do animations. Maybe you do not know how to do anything. And that is a pretty big problem if you do not know how to do anything. You should at least be having one skill so you can acquire this sort of money without actually having to spend your own. Again, if you do have money to spend on your own, let's say you're working a job or somewhere and you want to like spend your own money, then that's completely fine. But I'm telling you guys, for most of you, you guys know how to do something in studio, but you don't actually know how to make it profit. You actually don't know how to earn income by doing commission. And a lot of factors go into this. For example, you guys might not have a concrete service that you're doing. Like, let's say you're good at scripting, but you're trying to do this other thing, blah, blah, blah. So you need to be good at one thing. So for me, it is scripting. I know how to script it very well, and I also know how to do some animations and some VFX. Most of you guys do not know how to do anything, and that is not the problem. Okay, so you can solve this, and it is by learning a certain service. Now, a lot of you guys have no idea where to start, and I can help you guys out. I'm going to be recommending my academy, which is going to be the first link in the description, where you can learn some of these services. Like, you can learn how to script, model. You can also learn how to sell stuff, which is a pretty big point I'm going to be emphasizing right here. So basically, you're going to be earning income, have like a base income, so you don't blow all your money. So you need to have a good portfolio, and you need to present yourself well. Now, what is a portfolio? Portfolio is basically your work, like what you have done these past, like however much you worked on Roblox. So let's say you did an ability for your game, or you did like an ability for someone. That's your portfolio. So that's the skill set that you have. And to acquire a good portfolio, you need a website, you need a good presentation, maybe you need a Discord server to show off your portfolio. You just need to present yourself well, so when someone looks like for a scripter, or if you're a model or whatever you might be, they're gonna say like, okay, this is the guy that I want to hire. And that again comes down to your skills. So that comes to how good you are at a certain thing. So how good you are at scripting, how good you are at modeling, etc., etc. And it's very important that you learn how to sell. Selling yourself is like 70% of what you're going to be doing right here. So learning how to sell to people, how to set prices, how to set correct prices. I see a lot of people eventually, even in the start, they're working for percentage or stuff like that for people they don't even know, or like people that never even made a game. Like, first of all, why are you working for percentage if people can pay you? And there's some people that do not want to pay, that just want to put people on percentage, but you avoid working with those people. Percentage is only accepted if you are gonna work for, like, I don't know, bro, Blue Lock Rivals, or like some huge game that is already out and is making a lot of money, or it's a developer that has made a ton of front page games before. Not a person who's made one game, not a person who's made 0 games, only credible people. If If there's no such thing as that, you're going to be charging them money. So the main thing that you're going to want to be focusing on is you can do USD, like just straight up cash. You can use PayPal, whatever, Stripe. There's a lot of these payment processes I cover over in the commissions course that I have in my academy, where I teach people how to actually sell, how to accept payments, how to do everything properly, how to set everything up, set the structure flow up so you can easily go ahead and process payments and get these funds coming in. Yeah, basically you're going to learn how to sell, and then also you're going to be setting off Robux on the side. So you're going to make sure at least some of the commissions you're doing, you're going to be doing them in Robux. And when you're doing them in Robux, please do not use like these stupid numbers like 5k, 4k Robux, like 3k Robux for commission. You're going to be charging 20, 30k plus. So you're going to be charging the amount of price you would charge if you were doing USD. So you're going to be doing the DevX rates, and a lot of you guys know what DevX rates are. If you don't know, search it up. It's basically developer exchange rates. You need to be eligible. I think you need to have over 30k Robux to be eligible for the program so you can cash out. But you're not focused on cashing out now, okay? You're focused on getting at least 100k Robux. I recommend around 100k, and then everything else you can use in USD to basically just pay out developers. So once you've done that, so you've picked the service that you want to do, you got a good portfolio, and you learn how to sell. And then I'm emphasizing this learn how to sell point because a lot of you guys have no idea how to sell yourself. And if you have no idea how to, I recommend checking the commissions course inside of the academy, because I teach a lot of stuff about selling there. It's very important, and that's one of the key factors that's going to help you gain a lot of money so you can fund your development team inside of your own game. Next step is gathering up a team with the money you made from commissions. So as I mentioned, you need to have at least 100k Robux, which you're not going to be touching for paying developers. Everything else that you get in cash, USD, you're going to be paying out developers. So there's a couple of key roles that you have to hire in this process. So it's basically the project manager. If you find one, you can also manage everything yourself, but it's easier to get a project manager because he writes everything down of what each person has done. So a project manager is going to manage your project, and I think you just pay them around like $100, $200 to just like do it the whole game. So it's just like a personal assistant. It's very helpful. If you're starting out, you don't have to get one. You can manage everything yourself, but it is really helpful. Next thing is you're going to be having at least 2 scripters. So there's going to be a front-end scripter and a back-end scripter. Now, most of you guys don't know what that means. A front-end scripter is basically in charge for doing all the visuals in the game. So let's say you're making, I don't know, bro, a Battlegrounds game. You want to have a front-end scripter who's going to be focused on all the visuals, and a back-end scripter who's going to be focused on all the stuff that's happening behind the scenes. So data saving, exploit proofing, anti-exploit, etc. That's pretty important. And then also, depending on the type of game you're doing, you're going to need to have a UI person. You can also make UI yourself. It's pretty easy. There's a lot of packs that you can buy and use it as like a UI. You can just keep on pasting UI into different games. So you potentially need to start off, but then you don't quite need it. Builder is pretty important. You're gonna have to have a builder for your maps, or you can make them yourself if you're free of time. And then also a modeler and an animator. Depends though on what type of game it is. You can basically almost do all the animations yourself. And now I mentioned you do not need a team if you're skilled in doing all of these at once. So if you know how to script, know how to build, know how to do UI, know how to do all of these, you can potentially make a game yourself, but it takes a lot of time. So if you're doing commissions and trying to make a game, you do not have time to make a game. So if you're doing commissions, you have a lot of income, gather up a team, hire everyone, pay everyone. And in terms of what you should be expecting for the payment amount, you should at least be expecting around $1,000. I'd say $1,000. So about 1.5k. So if you're starting out with the games that I'm about to tell you, the type of games that I'm about to tell you, 1,000 is like a max amount you would pay everyone. And the types of game you should aim at is the types of games that can be done in around 1 to 2 weeks, max 3 weeks. Now, what does this mean? This means you're not going to be going on a passion project your first game. You're not going to be going for like a crazy huge anime game. You're going to be going off of simple games. And I'm going to give out some examples of these simple games right now. So once we go out on Roblox right here, as you can see, there's a lot of these games that you can just search up. So these are some simple games. You can search up 100 player, and then a lot of these is going to show up. So as you can see, 100 player slippery stairs. This is a perfect example of the type of game you should be making. You should be making the game. This game, if we enter now, you will see that it's probably made in about 2-3 days. Like I'd say a week max, not even a week should be much for this game. And it's already at 2,000 players. It had more. It's already at 2,000 players. It's a unique idea. So you need to have a unique idea on what you're going to be doing. Also, look at this. This is also a game, 15 million visits. It's made by the same guy that made the 100 slippery stairs, and it's basically 200 active right now. It had about 3,000 active. Now it has dropped. There's a bunch of these, like 100 players sledding, 500 players. Like, as you can see, a lot of these games had like 3 to 4K players. Now they fell a bit because it's getting close to the nighttime, and then also a lot of people have school. It's weekdays, but basically these games are printing money. And when I say printing money, they're really printing money. How do I know that they're printing money? It's because I know the owner of the 100 slippery stairs, and I know the owner, it's the same person that made the bunker. It's the person actually that's in our academy right now. He's making all these games, like in the academy that I've been telling you guys about. He's the one who's been making all these games, and I know he's printing a lot of money because I asked him, like, okay, how much is this making? And roughly he's making around, the slippery stairs game is currently making around 700, like I say 600k, maybe on the low end, 700k a day Robux. So if we go into the DevX calculator, and I'm telling you guys how you can cash this out, if you go ahead and put in 700k, that is about 2 grand per day, 2.4 grand per day, which is insane. This is per day. So every single day the game generates about 700k, which is a huge amount. And I'm just showing you that you don't have to make a 100,000 player game to have a lot of income. You can make these games to start off pretty small, so gain a lot of funding. These games can make you a lot of money, which you can use then for future projects. But to start things off, you should be aiming for games that are in the 2-week range, so you can actually do them pretty fast. And if you fail, you can go ahead and move on and do another one pretty fast. So what I recommend doing is doing a Trello board to show all your visuals for the game. So having a Trello board is pretty important so you can organize how your game is going to be structured, and I'm going to show you how a Trello board looks right now. So this is a great example of a Trello board right here that I have, and it's basically a game I made before. And right here, as you can see, we have a couple of things right here. We have the game concept, so it's just the concept of how the game should function. We have the core loop on what each system of the core loop will be. So we have to have invite friends, donations leaderboard, flags, the summons, like these abilities right here. Then we have the like obby list. Since this was an obby, I made like a map list of what the builder should follow. We have the developer products, and we have the game passes right here, and then we have the to-do list. So every single day what you should be doing. So day 1 we did this, day 2 we did this. We made the game in 7 days. We released it, and this is just like miscellaneous stuff. We needed a thumbnail, and then also just testing out stuff. But basically, as you can see right here, this is just basically the whole list. Like each block should be in list of what you should be doing, and then you need to have like these checklists so you can just check them off if they're done, and you just move on. Like you can have like one for like the builder, one for like the scripter, one for like the UI, and you add them to this board so you can basically make the board public with a share, and they can join the board, and then they can like check things off what they have done so you can track progress in real time. Yeah, a Trello board or a game document, it's really helpful for the development team because they actually know what they're going to be doing, and they actually know like how this is going to be made, and you know they can follow along each day. You can give them out tasks and they can do them each day. You need to set strict deadlines, so make sure you're setting strict deadlines. Okay, so if this needs to take 3 days, if it's not 3 days, then you're not going to pay him. And I recommend also paying people if they require upfront. I remember usually paying people 50% upfront. So if the scripter is charging you like $400 for the main system, you pay them 200 upfront, 200 when they're finished, and also let you or the project manager track progress, specifically with the Trello. So you need to make sure, okay, this is getting filled each day. You make sure what you've set for the day needs to be done that day, and you also need to make sure people don't delay you, because if they do, you need to find someone else, because you need to move very fast in this market, and you need to have ideas pretty fast. Now, how to hire is a really good question. I get asked a lot. How do you hire these people, and how do you find credible people you should be working with? So basically, a good platform to look for is Hidden Devs. It's a Discord server that you can go ahead and join, and it's really good. It's questionable though, because there's people that do scam in there, but if you know how to find proper servers, it's gonna help you a lot. And yeah, you just need to know what type of developer you're looking for. You need to look for someone who's credible. For example, I look for a lot of people that have mutual friends with me, because I have friends that have a lot of big games. So if they're friends with them, that means they potentially worked with them or conversated with them. That means the other person was interested, so it means it's a good developer you should be looking for. Also, huge Twitters or YouTube accounts are very important. If the developer has huge Twitter, it means he's really good, because it's very hard to get Twitter following. unless you have a game that you have released that's gone big, or you have a pretty big social presence. And also a big YouTube. It's very helpful. I have a big YouTube, so I get a lot of hires through YouTube, and also recommendations. So just asking the top. So if you have a friend that's pretty big in the industry, it's real helpful. You can ask him, okay, who scripted this? Can you like send me a recommendation, etc., and stuff like that. So it's basically very important to know how you hire people. And the next step is basically how you should be releasing your game. So congratulations, at this step you have done your commissions, you earned money, you made a team, gathered up everyone, you paid everyone, you hired everyone, and then you finished the actual game. So how do you actually release the game? So what I always recommend is doing the ads manager method, and it's pretty simple. So basically you're going to be running sponsored ads, and if you guys don't know, as you can see right here, here's the ads manager that I have right here, and this is basically where you're going to be running ads. It's similar to Facebook ads, but it's kind of a little bit different. So you're going to be running sponsored ads, and what I recommend doing is doing 100K over 7 days, or if you haven't gathered that much Robux, you should be doing like 60 to 80K for 7 days. So that's like from the span of 7 days. Every day it should be like, if it's 100K, let's say it's 70K, you're spending 10K every single day. So it's 100K budget over 7 days, so over a 7-day period. And you should just go ahead and like let the ads run. You're gonna be getting a lot of players, and you're eventually on the track to hit the algorithm. So how you hit the algorithm, that's a pretty good question. Basically, you need to have your game do very good in that testing period. So the 7 days of ads is a testing period. If your game performed well, so in that 7 days, you're gonna look over, okay, so if you have engagement issues, let's say people are leaving way too fast, you need to figure out, okay, is the game maybe too hard? Is it, you know, people don't understand how to play it, people are confused, there's a game breaking bug? Like, you need to have over 10 minutes of retention. So every time a player joins the game, he should be playing for at least 10 minutes, and that is very important, because the more this metric is inflated, the better your chances are of hitting the algorithm. So if your retention is over 10 minutes, like everyone joins, they stay for over 10 minutes, and you also have good purchases, like people are purchasing a lot, and also there's a good like ratio, you're gonna be bound to hit the algorithm. If you do not hit the algorithm, you're gonna have a retest phase where you're gonna be looking at, okay, so we didn't have good engagement, people were leaving after like 3 minutes, we need to fix that. You go ahead and fix up your game. So you take a week, you just let the game sit, like let it be active, don't shut it down or anything, let it sit, and then revamp the whole game. You can even change the thumbnail, you can change a lot of stuff, and basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be re-releasing the game. So just publishing the newest version of everything being fixed, and you can potentially go ahead and put in a bit more Robux, like 20-30K, just to check like if the game is playing better. If it fails after that, like after 2 weeks, if it fails again, you're not going to be working on the game more, so you're letting it off as a failed project, and you're gonna actually move on, and you're gonna make another idea with the same framework that I've just gave. And also, if you do hit the algorithm, which is pretty obvious to see, you're going to be having about 1,000 to 2,000 players, like even more if you hit the algorithm a lot. You're going to be having consistent players. So with ads, you might like hit 800 players, and it might just go there for like an hour and just go back to like 30. So hitting the algorithm means you're being at a consistent player base during like 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Like, you're being very consistent. That means you have hit the algorithm, and you do not need ads anymore. What you should expect is basically a lot of trial and error, a lot of mistakes. You're going to be having a lot of failed games when you start this, which is pretty much like you need to like know that you're going to be failing, because if you enter this thinking, okay, my first game is going to be a hit, it could happen, but it's very unlikely. So a lot of trial and error and a lot of wasted money and time. So you need to figure out that you're going to be wasting a lot of money on this, and you need to be good with that, because one game can literally change your whole life. As I mentioned here, like huge game, like one game, like even if it's smaller, it could literally potentially retire you. I mean, Brookhaven was sold, like I think recently, at over 150 million. It's not a disclosed figure though, but people are expecting that it was sold for over 100 million. And I'm not talking about Robux, I'm literally talking about US dollars. So it's generational wealth that can be made with these steps. but you need to actually know what you're doing, and it needs to be a lot of trial and error. I'm not telling you you're gonna watch this video and you're gonna actually release a game and have generational wealth. That's not what I'm saying at all. But if you follow these steps enough, because I know a lot of people, bro, there's some guy that actually watched some of these videos and he's like, he's lying to you, like if you do this you're not gonna have a huge game. Of course, it's because you need a lot of trial and error and you need a lot of testing. The biggest people in the industry, the ones that owned fish, the ones that bought fish, the ones that bought a lot of these games, the ones that have like a lot of these huge games like Dusty Trip, the owner Jandel, like all the other guys in the industry, they've been in this industry for tens of years. Like, you guys need to understand that it's not going to take you 2 years to achieve this. It's going to take you a very, very long time, and you need to be okay with that, because you're playing the long game. You're not playing the short game, you're playing the long game here. You're playing for the future, where you're going to be cashing out on a huge game, and you don't have any other choice though, and you need to actually be with that you won't make a hit game in a month. It could happen, some of you guys might get lucky, but in the long game, you need a lot of time and a lot of experience on the platform to be able to do these things. So what now? You guys might be wondering, okay, so I understand what you've said everything, like everything up until this point, but what do I do now? Like, what do I actually do? Like, how can I take the actionable steps? Well, I can't like take your hands and do these steps for you, but I can guide you properly so you guys can actually achieve all of this a lot quicker. So there's two options that you can go from here. You can go ahead with a trial and error method, and you can learn everything by yourself, which takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. You can work with your own means. You can literally try to do everything by yourself. You can try to learn how to script, try to learn how to hire teams, just like overall try to go solo Rambo on this and try to learn how to do everything yourself. Or you can get a good mentor and a good teacher to basically fasten up the process so you can walk the steps that they walk. So there's someone who's already done all of this. For example, me, which I have done a lot of these things, and I've been developing for 7 years, and I made a lot of money. Like, I'm not going to disclose how much, but I've made a lot of money from this, and like, I literally am. I'm 20 years old now, so I'm similar in age to you guys. Like, most of you guys that are watching this video are probably younger. Some of you guys might be older, but just know that I was making a bunch of money and I was doing all this while I was 16, 17, most of you guys' age. So I'm a lot like you, and I've been in this for a long time, and I've been here since I was 12 or like 11, and I know what I'm doing. So you need to walk the steps that a mentor has walked. Of course, you can do everything by yourself. Like, as I'm gonna show you right here, both of these methods work. If you do have a mentor, you do not make the same errors you don't know about. So some of the errors you might encounter, if you're by yourself, you're gonna make the error, fail. If I tell you like, okay, this is an error you should avoid, you can avoid it in the future without having that failure process. But the faster you fail, the more you're going to learn, and also it's an easier learning curve when you have a mentor. And as I showed you here with this drawing right here of this arrow, you can see that both of these lead to a result. So you don't have to necessarily get a mentor to do all of this. You can do everything by yourself, but it takes more time and it takes a lot more effort. Or you can just kind of fast track the process and go off with the second step. And basically the academy that I've just made comes into play with all of this that I'm talking about right here, which is the actual learning curve of how you should learn all of this. So a lot of you guys do not know how to do any service. You guys don't know how to actually sell. You guys don't know how to hire. You guys don't know any of these steps in the middle. And I can't tell you all of it in one video, because the video will be like 70 hours long of all the knowledge that I currently have on the market. So in order to basically cut through this time and, you know, like not put everything in one YouTube video, the academy that I've mentioned to you guys a couple of times in this video is the process that you're going to be going through to actually walk the steps that I have walked, and also don't make the same errors, and also have a very much easier learning curve and take less time, because you're going to be actually knowing how to do stuff step by step and walking through everything that I've basically done for the past 7 years to achieve such a portfolio, to achieve such achievements on the platform. So I'm going to be giving you guys a little bit of an in-depth look at what we have inside of the academy currently. So it's basically like a Discord where like all the top devs are in, and basically where all the learning happens. We do have a huge network of like a lot of people that have released a bunch of games. So basically, we have a couple of courses right here that I'm going to be talking about. So we have a couple of channels too, which we have the wins right here. So as you can see, this is Tommy. This is the 100-player stairs I've been telling you about. And there's a lot of different wins too. It's not just making games, it's more of even doing commissions, so learning that first step that I've been talking to you guys about. Here's the Vuuk closing a huge commission for a game. Also a lot of these, as you guys can see, there's a bunch of these. There's just so many, I can't even cover them all in one video. But basically there's a bunch of courses right here that I'm excited to talk to you guys about. So we have the mentality, which is basically a pre-step into doing all of this. We have the commissions, where you're going to learn how to sell and learn how to properly market yourself, and also just learn overall how to be effective in presenting yourself. And then we have the Lua 0 to Hero, which is basically scripting. We have the Lua Fast Track and Advanced Lua. So there are 3 courses in terms of scripting. So there's a bunch of content. This is the beginner course, medium course, and advanced course. We have the modeling course to learn how to model in Blender. Animations course, also Blender animations, learning how to animate in Blender. And all of these are done by different teachers. So you guys have a different teacher who's going to help you and guide you to succeed in all of these. We also have the UI course, user interface. We have the FX course, TikTok advertising, data sets, which is kind of just like general world stuff, like, you know, finances, learning how to finance yourself, etc. We also have recorded lives when we do live calls, which are right here. And also, if you are tier 2, you do get all of the packs from my store, so vuukstudios.com, all of the packs that are on there. So a lot of you guys know I do all these like packs on YouTube, which are on my vuukstudios.com. But if you do join tier 2, you're gonna have all of them for free right here. We also have the inner circle, which is just like the inner people that have performed really well, like these green usernames. They're in the inner circle. And then we also have a bunch of chats, tier 1 chat, tier 2 chats. We also have tickets for one-on-one support. So if you're having any trouble, you can open up a ticket and we can let you and walk you through any step that you might need in order to do everything. Basically, once you guys click the first link in the description, it's going to pop everything up right here. You can look at a lot of testimonials right here. So there's a bunch of these screenshots right here of people just making a bunch of different wins right here, which I already talked about the wins channel. There's a lot of people like talking to of like what they achieved throughout the learning curve. And then also, as you can see right here, these are all the benefits that you do get. So basically this is what tier 1 has, this is what tier 2 has, and also they do have lifetime offers. Not that, they also do have lifetime offers. So like, let's say if you click join, a lot of them have different offers. Let me just go ahead in here. And then also these are some of the reviews of people that have been in the academy and just, you know, left off a review. And then there's a bunch of different things like questions right here too, which are answered, and also like the tiers, what they are, what they offer, and then also there's like a lifetime and then a month. So it's basically monthly if you're doing the regular one, and then you can also buy the one-time one, which is just basically having the whole academy forever, where you get support one-on-one forever. But yeah, that is basically it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm hoping you guys understood how you should approach game creation and how you should approach publishing these games. And this is the stuff that you need to know before you actually go ahead and, you know, try to make your own first game. And because I promised you guys that I would give you a special present at the end of the video, so you guys just watch it. Anyone who goes ahead and wants to sign up for the academy, just look it over. I do have a promo code for you guys, so you guys can have 20% off of any certain membership that you want to get. So basically the promo code is I'll leave it up on the screen right here, how to game like video or something like that. So you use this at the checkout to get 20% off, and it's going to be only for the next 20 people that join. So you guys basically have an easier learning curve, and you guys don't have to spend like a bunch of money. You guys can have a discount right there. So that's my gift for you guys, and I'm hoping you guys liked the video and enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to subscribe and turn notifications on. Make sure to also like the video and drop a comment on your favorite step in this video about actually, you know, approaching game development. And if you guys liked what I'm talking about right here, because I do believe I gave a lot of free info, which is going to be a lot of help for you guys. So yeah, a lot of sauce in this video, a lot of cool stuff. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hope to see you in the academy. Peace.